Of course it was. Of course it was. There was no there was no sound. Hopefully that comes up with sound in there now. This is what happens when Trader Max comes on and by himself. It's so silly. If you can in the system here, let us know if you can hear us now. I'm going to try to go to X to see if you can hear us now. Hang on one second as I go to my profile page and see if we got voice. Yep. Okay. So now here, let's let's start over. I guess. I mean that's okay too, right? We could start over. Let's see what can we do here. There we go. All right. I'm Trader Max. This is the Shogun Gun Show. We're here today on the 17th of June. And we have so much stuff to go over now that we have sound. Thank you very much from Sober for letting me know. What a terrible start to the day. But we're here today to talk about all the great stuff that's been happening with Shogun and the network of Shogun. We're very excited about our launches. We're also going to be here today talking about a few things that are going to help different communities. We're going to talk about content and what to build. We're going to be talking about the value of people that are working with you and over promising, under delivering, long-term effects. There's a lot of stuff we're going to kind of go into today. So I hope you're able to stick around with us and join us. Please make sure that you comment, like, and share this video out there, this network today with as many people as possible. And we can get the conversation going in the chat room. If you have questions about anything that we talk about the content, about anything that we're doing, please do so, and I'll do my best to answer as we go. All right, so let's get started. We're going to jump straight into the effects of this. We're going to jump right into the state of Shogun. Let's begin. All right. As most of you know, we've had this series going on for a little while now. We started in January. We've been kicking ass, taking names, having a lot of fun with this. We're getting back into releasing the Shogun Gun Show again. And not because it went away because we didn't want to do it anymore, because we really had to focus on the building of the network. And what have we been building? Well, I'm glad you asked. We've been building the network of the Anvil bot. We've been building the solutions for the NFT marketplace. We were building in the very beginning of the year, the Shogunix network, a lot of great stuff. And one thing that we found out very quickly is no matter how many great things you build, you still need people to run them. I can only run so much. My son Quentin can only run so much. A lot of the people that were in the network can only run them so much. And how do you do that? How do you create a community that will work with you and build with you? Well, some say go work for your bag, right? We've all heard this before, and that does work a little bit, but your bag becomes profit or loss, and you got to either sell it or you got to get out. And then if you don't have it anymore, what's the use of working? Some say pay your people some money. Yes, pay them money. Pay them some money up front, and then you got to track to see what they're doing and how everything is going. We alluded to try to do a revenue share program, but you got to be in profit for that to work. And it just wasn't happening because we were in the midst of building. So there was a lot of stuff that was happening that we couldn't help but continue to move on and build. Some people are having trials and tribulations in life. There's a lot of good stuff and bad stuff happening in the industry, the ups and downs of things. In the state of Shogun, we've been coming up. I've been, as of a couple of days ago, on the 15th, on Father's Day. I hope you all had a good Father's Day, if you fathers out there. On the 15th of June was the 1 year ago. On the 15th was the day that I came into this industry, back into the industry, I should say. I was in the industry 15 years prior to. With the movement of Bitcoin and mining Bitcoin in the very beginning. My brother and I got in right around on the 10th of June last year. He came to me and said, hey, you want to have a look at this? I had a look. I fell in love, or fell in hate, or fell in worry, or whatever it was. I fell in, and here I am today. 15,000 million shows and lots of content and building a lot of stuff, right? So let's discuss a little bit about some issues and things that are going on, but also about the build out of last week and what we were building and how everything has been going. Most of you know that we have been building our Anvil bot, and we're going to jump up here and we're going to go over to the Anvil bot here right now. Let me go to Shogun Crypto. I'm going to pop it right over to here. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen. Present, share screen. We're going to go entire. We're going to go here. Now, we did talk about this on Saturday. We talked about the Anvil bot, and we talked about the process of it. But we really didn't get into who could use this and why they should use it, right? Well, the biggest thing is like the Anvil bot. Now that we have it stable in this 2.5 version, we are putting together 3.0, but we're not going to talk about that right now. That will deal with Metaurora and deal with some other things that we're adding onto it as modules. We are now in a stable, what we call a microservice system, so we can use it. I'm going to jump in the Anvil here. Here's where the Anvil bot is sitting here currently. I'm going to shoot this down here like that. It's a simple, easy system to utilize. We have a couple of swaps happening right now. But what I want to talk to you about here today is not so much about just the usage. Most people think like, oh, I have to use the Anvil, but I have to be a dev, right? No, this system is made for traders as well as devs. Devs can use it in the process. Now, why is it so powerful for devs? Well, here's a few things. One, you can create an affiliate program. One, the power of the Anvil bot alone, being a market maker, is all about the volume, right? Now, we talked about this before. What is volume before, and how is it presented? Oh, let me see if I can jump in and grab this image right here. This image, right? I don't know if you've seen this image yet. This was on our Twitter this morning. We talk about this, what real volume is to fake bundled volume. Real volume being the availability to trade, but fake bundle volume is where they do the 2-to-1 and it all happens at once, but it doesn't really change the market cap of the coin. It just makes it look like it. You can have a bunch of fake makers in there or holders, all that stuff, but it's still fake. It doesn't really give anything to it. It doesn't have any you may get some short-term hype in it, but it doesn't really work, because once people see it, and Dex Screener and GMGN and Dex Tools and things like that are starting to flag the coins that use volume in there as botted volume. So people know immediately, and you're wasting your money and your time. While the real volume Anvil MVM, the market volume maker, is utilizing real trades that are happening. Yes, they're automated, but they're still real trades. They're by the people. Now, the other thing is you have this opportunity for, let me grab this. I'm going to remove this. We're going to add this to stage. The Anvil bot now has an affiliate program. And why this is so powerful is because you as the network get to utilize this system as the community. You can give it to your people and they can use it to DCA in. They can make transactional trades to the chart for you. And plus everything that they do, you get a percentage of. Now, if you are becoming an affiliate and you just want to use it to go out there and you're just going to give it to a handful of people and that's it, the percentage is 20%. But if you're a community and you're really going to dive in, I'm going to increase you to maybe 35%, but you need to reach out to us. Make sure you DM me. You can go right to our X account there, of course. Now, the other great thing about this network is that it has so much availability to create what we call crosshatch trades and all this stuff. So DCAing in, DCAing out. And even if you do have somebody who's leaving, you want to have that opportunity that they get a chance to leave the market safely, leaving your chart safe in that process, so it doesn't create heavy deviations. Now, with that said, we're building some content around the affiliate program and what we're going to be doing with it and how well that's working. We do have over 100 customers in the network right now. We're building out all of our content around the affiliate program as well on what to do. We're going to provide you content as well, where you can use the images. Let me jump over to X and show you. Like what you'll get is a back office to. We're going to give you a portal that you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to grab these images and grab these type of text and stuff that we put in that you can now use on your own X. And then you can put your affiliate code down there, so you can make money, and that's a good thing too. So all of you guys out there that run streams, you know that we're Shogun, we're honorable, we're upfront, we're transparent. We're all about helping you build that community, that network. And that's something that's very powerful for all of you, because you'll have this content that we're delivering with the Shogun in that series. Okay. Let me see here. So the other is, as we've been building out the Anvil bot over the past week, we have also been building out our NFT marketplace. Now, our NFT marketplace is called Shogun Fusion. And what it is, let me try to get over to it here. Got to spell it right first, Max. Here we go. I'm going to drag it over to the screen. Here we go. Now, Shogun Fusion fired off on Monday. And of course, we had some caching problems. We had some other small things happening. Because it's such a unique module and we're using microservices systems, this is something that's very powerful for NFT providers and builders and artists and people that want to take some of their NFTs that you purchase. I know some of you got some addiction stuff happening, right? You're using a lot of that out there to trade with and use, and you want to have all these great NFTs that are out there, and you're buying them up. And now you don't have a way. You can go to take them to another marketplace that you would have you. But here on the network, you can have something what we refer to as the auction. And what this means is that you're able to come on board. Shogun Fusion itself has a module that's coming in about 3 weeks that you'll be able to fuse and collect some and fuse them together to make a new NFT out of it, which is pretty cool. It's taking the old and recycling it back to new, which is pretty wild. Now, we fired this off. If you see, I have 2 collections in here right now. We have the Shogun's Founders Collection, which I have not put on a pick yet for it. This will be coming soon. We will be doing one, but we did do one under the Shogun Fusion side of it, to where we made a, let's say a sale NFT, right? A deal. Oh, that's right. We called it a deal. Sorry, my mind's going at 15. There's like so many things happening. But we made what we refer to as a deal NFT. And that was one thing that we really decided was something that's going to be powerful for us, because when we have these things that are going to be firing off, you have an opportunity to use that NFT as a deal within the network. Let me pop back here. If I come into this one, there we go. So in this collection, in this value, so there is this one here. We made this deal NFT 20% off of Anvil MVM, and we practiced with purchasing it. We put it through a process. So this is pretty cool, right? We were able to put them in the amount of how much it was, and you'll be able to track just about everything in here. You're able to see the offers made. You're able to see the listings that you have. You're able to see the price history, and track this through as it goes on. You're able to look at the item activity in the network and really track every single thing here. You're also able to create multiples. We can create a collection, or we create multiples, a single or bulk upload, right? We use a CSV system in here, so you can add multiples, and each one of them can be attributed to an auction that will happen, that the highest bidder, you can set the time, which is pretty wild too. You're able to set the time on exactly, like if I go into my profile and I come into here, this may take a second. There we go. And it may take a second for this one to rile up here, but we'll get there in a moment. But you're able to take every single NFT that you have, that if you have one that you bought through an SPL system, or you had it minted on an SPL, you're able to now take that and put it through this auction, and create some hype around it. And you can add extra things in, manually. You can say, all right, I have this NFT that I have. If somebody buys it and it's above a certain amount, you're able to then do that. Now you can list this for sale. Watch this. I'm just going to click on this, list it. I'm going to go back in, and for a fixed price, I could choose a fixed price. You could put anything you want in there. It's completely up to you. Or you can have it as an auction with a starting price. And you could start it actually pretty low if you want to put in 001 if you wanted to, 15 cents. And then you can add the day to it and how much time that you have to it. And of course, we charge 2.5 to have this 2.5%, which may seem a little high, but minting is free on our network. And we're going to be driving just hundreds of thousands of people to this site in the network. So it'll tell you how much it'll earn at that point. Again, we have it very low. This is ridiculous, right? And so even if I did 0.1 there, it's $14 or 15, you can put it 0.5. You can do whatever you want here at that point. And then you have the availability to list it. And then people have the availability to bid on it. And when the clock strikes 0, you're able to then, the person's able to claim, who's ever has the highest will be able to claim it from that point. This will create a competition system a lot. Like if you have a lot of hype around yours, and you want to add, extra things on it, like, you can send them a certain amount of soul per each one. You can send them a certain amount of, if it hits five soul, you're going to send them some of your coin. You could do basically anything you want at that point. It's a pretty powerful little program here. But again, we are putting together, as this is our first part of the process here for the Shogun Fusion, we're putting together another module that is referred as the fusion side of it, that will be coming out in a couple of weeks here. So we're very excited about that part of it. There is just so many things that are happening with it that we're very excited for. Let me jump back over, add the stage. We're going to remove from here. We're going to go back in and do this. The Shogun network itself has taken on a little bit of a quiet stage as we've been building out. Our social media system has gone quiet, because the things that we talked about in the very beginning of the show of, finding people that can create content, that can create buzz. The days of raiding are still strong, but you got to have a raid team, and people are getting denied and banned and all that kind of stuff because the content is just not good. But we did talk about, for a long time, what did we need as far as content goes? And that's something that's super strong as well. And let's talk about that for just a second. Content is the new currency, of course, because we have had so many people come and go. We've had great writers for over at Reddit. We've had people put in, but it all comes down to a couple things, right? Like everybody's like, let's just use, ChatGPT or Midjourney or something to make AI. Everybody's like, you're trying to find that AI. And I'm here to tell you that there's not just one way to do content. You have to build content. And why I'm saying this is saying you have to build content because content is education, it's knowledge, it's communications. Content is sometimes both ways. Like everything we're doing with the show right now, everything in here are little bits of content. I could cut this entire thing off and edit it and create it as a little micro video of like, a minute or 30 seconds, the way I talk about 5 minutes content, and create this whole thing around it to where it becomes short-term content, like you could put on into Instagram or into Reels or into TikTok in that mentality, right? So I'm just going to give you a few readouts here and why content really matters, right? This scalable weapon of brand is in a narrative, letting people know who you are constantly. Sometimes it's not just about the content. It's not about pre-planned, segmented, and sometimes it's just somebody coming on and saying, hey, it's Trader. I'm here today. We're building some stuff, having a good time, over at Shogun. And that's it. Sometimes it's waiting in the line of the DMV and, hey, everybody, it's Trader Mac. It's just setting the brand and the narrative. It's sometimes saying, oh man, I hate fake volume. I really do. Every time I go to look at a chart, this is why I use our Anvil bot, right? Something as simple as that, just a conversation can be considered a weapon in the branding of what you build, right? As long as it's consistent, right? I'm not trying to sell sneakers from this brand. So, unless it comes that has a Shogun logo on it, right? So that's what it really comes down to. Building in trust in your community and tribes is also one of the things that content will have because it shows as their thought. It shows the build out. This is why we do the shows here. This is why we do the state of Shogun, is because to give content that builds trust with our community and our network. So that's something that else. Um, you know, when we start talking about like what we are building, where we've been growing, how we've been doing, showing those metrics, showing the education, we also try to inspire and convert people that are watching at any level, because then they see something that's progressive, and that's also something that content helps build. Okay. Now, showing segment ideas and creating content is currency. Code is law, but content is war, because you're struggling. You're always struggling to get content out there, and who's going to see it? Repetitive content, and that's something too. Is when people see the repetitiveness of something, and it's just the same logo, same thing every single time, and it has that look, and it's AI, and it's like a good morning, everybody, and you show a cup of coffee. Those kind of things become ad blindness. So trying to mix it up and creating unique values in your content, and letting people know that things are happening, right? It's tough to have this system up there. You want engagement into your content, and that's something that's hard. Sometimes content on a billboard, has no way to interact with it other than your eyeballs looking at it and trying to remember it. But most people don't, because then there's another billboard over there, and it'd be, oh, there's another one. Oh shit, ooh, squirrel kind of thing. So I think what happens is the war that we got to create within ourselves, of the builders of content. How do we inform and educate, and provide information that will stick with people, and to direct them, to let them know that there's consistent value in everything that we build. So these are things that you may not have answers for just yet, but I think, and I know that we are going to be building some education around this, on how to build some content and creating a toolbox, that will build and automate some of this stuff. Now, when I say automation, let me give this to you. I am not talking about going out and getting ChatGPT AI or some of the other AI bots out there to build all the content for you around the process. You still are going to have to do some manual work. If you're a video editor, there's a lot of editing systems out there that are AI-esque, right? But hand building an AI, there's going to be some segments in here that you're going to have to trust me on, that to creatively come up with something. You can come up with an idea and have the AI, ChatGPT, give me some ideas for a show. You could do that, but you physically still got to go do the show. You have to really dress the content out. You can't be some robot up there like us, everybody, that the S&P 500 is the best series ever. You can't have that kind of stuff, because they will know. You still have to have the sincerity and the empathy there, be able to do this full time. So creating ChatGPT and generate articles and scripts, this is something that, if you have the idea, you can ask for ideas, you can have the monologue here to help you create it. But I would suggest that you remove all the substrate that's there, all the other little nonsense that's within most ChatGPT rules in there, right? Because what will end up happening is that your stuff will look very mundane. I'm going to sort of create something here. Let's see if I could do this here. I'm going to slide this over here to there. And I'm going to show you this right here. Remove. Okay. And let's go back to here. Add stage. There we go. This is ChatGPT, right? So it's very simple, right? You can come in, you can say, hey, make me a new streamer, give me some ideas of things. But then to create an article, right? I could say, give me an article about the Anvil MVM in Max's voice, right? Now, if you see this, I have trained the model here for ChatGPT here to know all about Shogun, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna, draft an article for this. Now, what this is gonna do is it's gonna put some stuff together. Of course, I put in his Max and I have the X in there, so you got to make sure that you got typo. I'm typo king, right? So that's what happens, right? Now, see, but also it will fuck up, right? Because it's not called manual volume management, right? We know that it's market volume maker in the process. So it will get confused, so, at certain things. So if your language model isn't set, you have to change it. So you go, MVM stands for market volume. Of course, you got to spell it right there. Volume maker. And then it's got to rewrite the whole thing again, right? So there it is. Market volume maker built for warriors. Okay. So this is just getting better at this point, right? The other is now coming up with the concept like, what do I do with all of this? This is one big, long, giant post that we're going to put out. Well, you could put it into your blog system over in Shogun WebForge. You could put this into an article generation system like WordPress and those kind of things. But you can also segment it, right? And again, asking for these things like this is just an idea for the market maker. I'd come up with the idea of putting in for Anvil and what to do, right? Works with radium, Solana-based tokens, protected an offensive capability, 100% manual control or automation. These are all really good, but you can make individual parts of this now, whether in images or video or what have you, and you can use this. You can also ask for you to make a, take this model and make it into a deck, right? Let's see if I think I did that right? A Google deck. I think you can do it that way as well. And this will do it as well. And again, this is a PPTX. There you go. Now, this isn't something that is superly hard to do. It's not something that's going to promote it completely out there. You can take this and then go to Google and create a deck format, super easy in there. You could take that and drive it into the deck. You can have your own thing. Now, this is with my brand. I have my brand. I already have all my imagery. I have all my stuff there. This is still just me doing it. This is not like anybody else doing it. I'm still the only one doing it at that point. What comes in from building the content is one thing, but the other is how do you now distribute it out to all the things? So as we were talking before, you know, ChatGPT can generate articles and create scripts. You can actually, you know, also, of course, you can ask it to create a script. If you don't know this, right? Everybody knows that ChatGPT can create these things. Create a script for a 1-minute video, right? And this is something that now you can take it if you are a dev, if you are in the industry, you could take this little video script. Now, it's not going to be perfect, right? Tired of fake volume, wash trades, empty charts, pretending to be growth. And you just say that right into editing system or a program or what have you. Or you can even copy and paste this and put it in to one of those voice interchangers like ChatGPT has, but so does Canva, so does CapCut. They have like, you know, text to video. Like there's all these great tools that are out there that you can explore. We will be having some videos on that in the next couple of months or next couple of weeks, talking about how we're building our content, how we're putting it out there. You know, with that, Zapier, I don't know if you know who Zapier is. It is a pretty good system that's out there. Zapier is another network that creates some automation, but it takes a little bit of getting used to in that process. Now, you can go and you could do all this stuff yourself, right? You can create these posts in your network and then create Zapier to have a zap that will take that. Once that post is made, it'll take that and put it to all the places it needs to go, like X or Instagram or YouTube or what have you. And you can create what we call automational interfaces that happen, or zaps in the process, and put this stuff out there automated. Now, again, you could go do all this stuff yourself. But one of the services that we're putting together here as we speak is for us to be able to help you from Shogun, us to be able to not just teach you how to use it, but create the little systems in there that will track it. We'll have our team track what's happening with your content and putting your delivery out there. So this is all something that is more of a ulterior motive while I'm talking about content today, because we're building it for ourselves right now. We're not talking about creating automation where you say, go make content and put it out there in my name. But you will have to come up with concepts where you will have to have deals. You will have to have network solution and distribution and people to go out there and raid it and do those kind of things. This isn't something that's going to replace everything, but it's going to replace a lot of what you have. It's not going to be fully 100% automated where you pay a price and everything is done automatically. You never have to worry about anything because you're going to have meetings. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have those things. But it's there. It's the beginning part of that process, right? Of course, creating the brand with Canva, Another great tool, like if you want to talk about content tools that are powerful, Canva is probably the best bang for your buck. Why do I say that? Well, because I've been using it now for many years, and I think I've only ever paid as the much is for my team is $18 a month, right? And I think that's what it comes down to. It's incredible. It has so much to offer. Like if I go back to my Canvas system here, you can see I have so many things that it's been going on for years. Like don't even bother looking at it all. It's crazy, right? Like we use it for our network. We use it for my dojo. We use it for just about everything we have. I know there's Amy AK-47 reposting stream. Thank you very much. But there is so many things that we use it for, and it's only 18 bucks or 12 bucks in some cases, and my whole team uses it. And so if you're not using ChatGPT, which is like 20 bucks a month, and you're not using Zapier to help organize your stuff, these things, if you tag them all together, so say like $20 for chat, $18, $19 for $20 for, even if everything just cost $20, each one of them each, and you had 5 systems, that's $100 a month. What are you physically getting from it? You're getting the power of content being, and remember, if content is war and it is the new currency, why aren't you investing in it? Why aren't you letting people know? Because creating a raid system that of content that's out there that says LFG to the moon is not content. That's barely even communication. You have to create these things around the things that you need to provide what we were talking about before. Okay, so building content with Canva, very powerful, has a lot of great tools in there. There is a learning curve, right? But there's also templates. There's a whole bunch of things that are out there that you just have to change the words. You got to change the colors. But you can also, if you dive in a little, you can actually create things like brands that it's a quick couple of clicks and you got your whole brand combination there. Okay. Let's talk about CapCut. Now, again, another system that's out there that a lot of people don't realize how powerful it really is. Making YouTube videos, making just about anything you need as far as videoization goes. These are things that are very, very quick. And CapCut is a great editing tool, but is also can be utilized to create short forms of content very, very quickly. Why is it so powerful? Well, because listen, in this world where it takes, in the average day, okay, let's talk about this for a second. In the average day of editing or making videos, right? If I'm a content builder, provider, right? So I build content. If I make a video and if I have a 5-minute video, it's usually 4 to 20 times the amount of how long the video is to actually edit it and get it out there on the table. But I can make a 5-minute video and have it out in 10 minutes total. I can have it in and doing because I preset a few things. I got some things down. I'm very quick when it comes to editing because I know where the tools are. So in the beginning, you make a 5-minute video. It may take you a half an hour. It may take you an hour to put the whole thing down and then get it out there. But with this system, you got some great systems that are out there that are super simple. If I click, I grab that. I have some video. I have some images that'll be ready. I slide them up into whatever I want. I can upload it. I can upload an image. I could do something like that. Replace the clip. You can hit play. Now, bad picture. It takes a little bit of time to really figure stuff out. But you also have, what do you have to lose from this? Now, how much is this a month? I think it's not very expensive. The pro account. Let's see how much the pro account. $19. So again, $20. Everything's $20 fucking dollars, right? So at this point now, here, what have we have involved, right? We've got ChatGPT at 20. We got say 20 for that. So 20, 40, 60, 80, right? You don't have much else after that. You got a Google account. If you have a Google Drive, that's free. If you don't have a lot of stuff in it, mine's not free because we have an admin service system and all of our brandings to it. $20, $20, $20. So there's $80 a month, right? compared to getting charged several $1,000s a month in content delivery. Okay. If you don't have a blog system, where do you get one? Where do you get one out there? Yes, you can go to the free system for WordPress.com and make yourself a little blog, get yourself a domain name, do all that stuff. Or you can come to us and we can help you organize it. You know, our WebForge has a fully functional free system in there. But if you want us to help you build content and deliver it, we have a social planner network. We have all this stuff. And for those kind of things, it's relatively inexpensive. It's like $40 a month for just the simple services like this stuff. You know, we can even add into Teams and other things to give you some accesses. You'll get a lot of learning. There is some things that we can do to help that we're going to be doing. So if you're interested in making some arrangements to help you with content, because we're going to be putting this out there for ourselves, we're going to be tracking ourselves the entire way. And we're going to get this out there to as many people as possible, because we do believe content is the new currency and that this is the way of wonder, if you will, right? Like this is the war. This is content is war. It is about putting it out there and having people get the information about what you're doing, but getting it out to, distributing it to where you need. Distribution is a very strong aspect of this as well. And where does it go and how does it go? And we have some things like with Zapier. There's even another program as a bonus in this network. We're also going to be talking about if then this. And if then this is also let me see if I can bring it up. IFTT, I think it's .com, isn't it? .com. Yep, there it is. Let me pop this one back up and remove this one. About that one. If then this is another strong program. And why is it so strong? Well, because one, it has some great quick usage, right, on how to create, like with RSS feeds. If you have a blog system through WebForge, you can hook it up to an RSS feeder. You can add ChatGPT's dev program in. You can create Twitters that, you know, when there's something new that comes out from your blog that you can also automatically tweet. You can take tweets that you have done and throw them into Telegram automatically. Okay. So you can take a tweet that fires off. So when a particular tweet, send a message for all new shared file links, or if there's send a photo to a Telegram chat when a certain thing happens, when a new photo comes out, it goes to your Telegram. Like, so keeping people updated and on board, and not just automated systems like, you know, please click links, please click links. Those things are so blind. Like we have it in our Shogun. We're going to be completely changing that network as well in that. So some of these great little systems that we just talked about today, all about creating this currency war, if you will, of data and information and education, and how can it happen? And that's why it is so imperative that creating this collab network that we have with Shogun, that we've created this solution out there, that getting content out there where people can see it and utilize it, and see the connections and see the value, and then come to us for all these things. Okay. So again, the state of Shogun is going to be about the Anvil bot. It is about the NFT marketplace. It is about the content system. It is about the launchpad. It's everything. But now what it's going to become as we go forward into the next series is all about the community and the collab. And I personally believe that the values that we already have within the network will just be, they'll be everywhere then. Okay, these collabs, the commitment to content will be there. These are great things. Now, as most of you know, it has been a hard run over the last almost a year. It's coming up to a year here in a couple of months. But I want you to realize that when you start out with a coin, there are thoughts and powers that we think we're going to be at a certain place. And everybody says it, and this happens in industries a lot, where it's like, oh, well, you promised that we'd have money by now. Well, yes, absolutely. You're right. And there's nobody more disappointed than me, that having the availability of fighting through trials and tribulations. But if you think for a second that, this is all just about lining my pockets, I'm the richest broke person We have leveraged the coin in the network, but we still own 720 million coin within the network. A little less right now because we've leveraged some just recently for some people that are in our network that are helping us grow to the next level. So, but it's still over 700 million coin that are in there that we own, that we directly control. And over this next week, we are doing what we call a lock-in system, right? Now, this locked-in system is what? Well, most people are like, burn the coin, burn some coin. No, I'm not going to burn it. That's like sacrificing your kid because you don't want to pay for college, right? It just doesn't seem right, right? Yeah, you're going to get a lot of you're going to be debt free from that point of it, but you're not, right? So I think where a lot of people kind of get lost a little bit. Let me see if I have this rock the chart plan. So we call it rock the chart plan. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to show you the plan. Okay. I'm going to show you the plan. Let me see. You can get this off of here. There we go. I'm going to show you the plan right now, and not the add stage. Okay. Here we go. So phase one for rock the chart, right? This is my little rock the chart plan here. It's what we just did is that we on Shogun. I don't know if you guys have seen it on the Shogun chart. We did a locked in. We locked 422 million coin, and it just exploded, right? Exploded, but for only like 10 minutes because there wasn't a lot of value behind the coin to begin with. So it just vibrated there, went up to 35,000 and then dropped back down again, right? And you're not going to be able to go in and trade the chart actively and try to make money from that 35,000 market cap, right? But we're calling this the locked in part. Now, we're planning to lock 500 million tokens as far as into the future as up to August 26th. That will be our 1 year mark or 2 year mark from the coin firing. But in the very first part of it, we're going to be locking 6 increments of 25 million coin that will be unlocked in this following pattern. So on January 1st, now hopefully we're doing it this week. This is not LP coin. This is just coin. Okay. And we're going to lock this out. And one batch of 25 million will be locked until the 1st of January. Okay. Then the second will fire off the 1st of February and so forth, all the way down to the 1st of June of the following year. So that would get some of it, or would fire off and be locked for 6 months, and then 7 months, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So very strong for us to realize what does locked coin do is that it stabilizes the market and the value there. We're also then going to take, because that's about 250, right? 250, a little bit more, about 300 about that, right? So, but the other is that we're going to take about 100 million coin and we're going to add LP to it, right? We're going to add Solana to it, which creates what we call liquidity coin. And that's even more powerful. Why? Because that's going to drive up our liquidity value and make it more stable for the coin. That's in the up and the down of it, right? So you got to keep that in mind. And that's going to raise up the value very, very quickly. This will and should cause some culture shock to the coin itself. And then in the final part of it, we're going to create what we call the buy-in and glitch, which means that we're going to create a single phase staking that will happen to the network, to where the investors and the programmers and everybody else who's involved will be able to go in and single side stake their coin and create this network of value that'll come back to them. But we're going to show you how to do it. But that's also going to go in. Some of it's going to go into the reserves of the company. But then we're also going to rebuy. We're going to create this constant loop. We're going to be using the Anvil bots to stake in, DCA in, to be able to help that growth happen. So if you have coin on, or you should be buying some coin right now to get your bags filled at that point. Okay, so this is coming up. We're going to announce this within 24 hours of it happening. We're going to announce it, right? So we give some people opportunities to be able to buy in. I'm sitting down with a group of people over the next 24 hours to talk about the plan in total. If you're part of that group, be prepared. If you're not, I can understand. But there is some secrecy that has to happen, because last time we had a lot of bots come on board. People set up bots. It was just terrible. So these are people that we absolutely trust, that know we can't circumnavigate it and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So as some finishing statements for today, I want to talk to you about the state of Shogun and what we've already done, but where we're going with this, the entire network. I am going to be here forever in this industry, in this network. We just launched our dojo as well, which is pretty powerful. I mean, we have just an awesome group of people that we've aligned ourselves with over there, because we have we have created the very first, let me see if I can pop it up here. We've created the very first cryptocurrency coin inspired dojo. Now, there's other dojos out there that are in cryptocurrency, but this is the first one that was built from it and the reason for it, right? So why this is so important, and we just got our sign the other day, and of course, that night we had our first walk-in, which was great. There's just a great group of people here. There's some great young people, some greater older people that are there to help promote and build the network for us, as well as educate them on cryptocurrency, which is very powerful. And having that opportunity to be able to teach people about cryptocurrency in this industry now with everything that's going on is pretty incredible. And I count myself very, very lucky. All right, I'm close to my time. I really don't see a lot of chat activity happening at the moment. This is more about the availability to come out and tell you about the state of Shogun. You'll see this video out to multiple people in the network. I do hope this found you well. And what we have coming is so immensely huge for everything that we have been building. It's been taking a long time. I'm slowly coming out of the dark from behind the scenes of building. We're meeting with some great people. Our NFT marketplace is probably going to be one of our biggest sellers and network solutions there, because we're also going to be launching our own NFTs in the system from back in the day with our friend Duffy and a few others. And we'll be building that auction system where people will be able to come, buy and sell and auction off and have fun with that. Then with the launch of our fusion system, it's going to be even better. With the new modularization for the Anvil bot to be Meteora and 3.0 and to have its own strategy module that's on it. That's huge as well. And I can't, all this stuff is here. Okay. Now, if you've been involved with us, I can understand, like if you were involved with us and you're like, well, I want to be back paid, or I haven't made money from what you guys have done. I can completely understand. All of you that were here, that were working with us, that were expecting revenue share to happen immediately, I can completely understand. I can't promise you revenue share. We are in May. We had January and June, or January and May are our only 2 months that were in profit, and it was no more than $300 that we're in profit for. That's still sitting there waiting for some people and me to find out who's who and what's what. But June, July, the rest of the time, everything coming. We're just on the way up. We have really isolated our bills. We've isolated our network, and we're very strong. We're very transparent. As you see, this is going out to the open air. This is not some hidden video behind a wall somewhere, right? So if you're part of it, if you want to be a part of it and you want to come work with us, I can't promise you anything stronger than, if you're putting your time in, it is an investment into what we have. And I'm not talking about your bag. I do, and I will be paying people that have been with us, have been sticking with us the entire time. In that network, and it will come when this thing starts to generate money to where we can afford to be paying everybody who's doing work and being a part of it, who's put their time in. You will get compensated. I can guarantee you that. But don't think for a second that I'm here trying to robber baron everybody and take the money myself. It's not happening at all. And I'm very transparent with all of that part of the process. So, but let's get this thing going into the next level. I cannot wait to be talking to some of you during the end of the week with what's happening and the NFT marketplace. We have a few things with Just a Lotto and a few other networks that are really powerful out there as well. The Tired Dad Society Foundation and so many great people aboard the network. All right. I think I'm going to call it for now. I really do appreciate everybody that's been watching. You've been watching the Shogun GunSho here on Tuesday, June 17th. And we'll see you next time. I'm Trader Max. And as always, trade well.